Fusion demos. Okay, my name is Chad Mingkwan, and I will show you two things today, and they are vegans. Okay, and you can make it vegetarian if you want at home, but today we're going to do it vegans. But before we start, anyone know how to say hello in Thai? You never been to Thailand? If you want to go, then we need to learn how. Huh? Very good. So, Anand. Anyan. No, that's not Thai. So what you do, you put the tip of your fingers together and put it between your nose and your lips right here, and you bow your head and you say Sawadee. S-A-W-A-D-E-E. Sawadee. There we go. That means have a good day, have a good life, have a good food, have anything. Okay? And it's representing that we give each other lotus flowers. I do it to you, you do it back to me. Okay? So when we see each other, we give each other flowers. So we kind of, take on from there. And what about thank you? Very good. You say khop kun. K-O-P-K-H-U-N. Khop kun. That means thank you. And if you are a lady, you say khop kun ka. K-A at the end. Yeah. If you are a gentleman, you say khop kun krap. K-R-U-P. To anyone. Okay? So now you know two words. Try them in the Thai restaurant. Maybe they can give you some free food. If you do them right. Okay? So you say sawadee. I will say sawadee krab. And khop kun krab to you. Lady will say khop kun ka. Back. K-A. What about the words, if you have to travel through Thailand, you need to know the words bathroom. Water closet is the most important word, right? What's the word? Water closet. Is say hong nam. H-O-N-G, hong, N-A-M, nam. Hong nam. Hong means cell. Nam means water. So it's like water closet. Okay, if you ask them hong nam, so that means where's the toilet. They probably point to the tree, and you can do it under the tree. Okay, what we're doing today, I got two recipes from my Asian fusion books. I got 3 books out. They're all vegans. One of them is Thai. It's called Buddha's Table. We're going to do one recipe from there. The other one is Vietnamese cooking, and the last one is Asian in general. So it got everything that have to do with Asian cooking. Okay? So, and we're going to cook some from there. We're going to do 2 recipes today. One of them is called chapchae. C-H-A-P-C-H-A. Chapchae is Korean inspired. Okay? And the other one is in your recipe. They say, how you spell that? There we go. Is it there? And the other one is we're going to do coconut soup with galangos. This is Thai, so it's hot and sour soup. Have a seat, ma'am. Yeah. This is the recipe. There.
3 people are coming in.
Okay, or buy a book. You don't have to carry the recipe. But anyway, we're going to do these 2 things. It's very simple to do. Okay, and I'm going to show you how. And after if you do a lot of them, you can freeze them very well and take it out a little bit of time and do it. Okay, every one of these have very good nutritional value to you. Okay, not just only a lot of vegetable to do. We also have all the plant-based ingredients, okay, in this recipe. And we're gonna introduce you to some exotic ingredients, okay? Let's say somebody asked me for this. What is it? Lotus root, see that? So if you know how to eat them, it's very delicious. You probably see them a lot when they make chips out of it. If you peel them and cut them at fire, it looks like that. And then you fry them, it's got nice and crunchy. It's got lotus fragrance, crunchy. Or you can make soup out of it by peel all these things off. Okay? Farmer's market, Asian grocery store. Where do you live? Oh, I don't know where to get it. But you have to, yeah, you have to go to Ranch 99. Yeah, they have it. And they have this wonderful fragrance. And you can cook like potato, but it's not falling apart like potato. You can cook and cook and cook and it still stay the same shapes, okay? So you know carrots, you know all of those things. And we're going to talk about these three things later in Thai cooking. Lemongrass, galangos, or Thai ginger, and kaffir lime. We're going to talk about those a little bit when we do Thai, okay? And then we have a lot of hot chilies right here. You're going to learn how to eat them. There. Now, let's go back to the ingredient we're going to do for japchae. This is very, very easy to do, okay? What do we need? We need noodles. How many kind of noodles out there? Anyone know? Lot, right? The noodle that make from wheat is called with wheat. The noodle that make from rice is called fun. There is mai and fun, two things in terms of noodles, okay? Anything that make from wheat, you will call them mai, okay, or mi, okay? It can be large one, small one, little, whatever, vermicelli one. And the noodle that make from rice and any other thing that's not wheat will call fun, like chow fun, okay, my fun and all those things. So you know those two things. If you look in the back and it say fun, so that means it's not making from wheat, but it can be from any other ingredients. For our healthy food tonight, we're not gonna put too much starch in this. We're gonna do the noodle from beans. This is called mung beans or bean noodles. You also know them as cellophane noodles, glass noodle, mung bean noodles. Why? Because it's made from beans, so it's a lot of protein, not carbohydrate. So it's good for you on that, okay? And you can look at the back, it comes like that. How do you cook this recipe? You're gonna get a little water in here. Smith, can I get some hot water in here? Okay, so it look like this. It come in the little package, and it come in about 2 to 3 ounces for each one. This will be enough for 2 people. Okay, unless you are a big eater, let's go with 2. Enough for that. You got the water coming? Doesn't matter. Just get me one. There. And before you're doing this, you're gonna soak this noodle in water first, just to get them nice and soft. Okay, so you're gonna go in there. It would take about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how thick it is. Meantime, you're gonna cut ingredients. What you got in there? You got noodles already soaked, okay? And you don't want to soak them too long either. If you soak them too long, it's gonna falling apart so easily. So you're gonna soak them to al dente, okay? The shorter you soak, the longer you're gonna cook in the pan, okay? So low, medium, and high. There we go. So the noodles being soaked. Now you're gonna cut things up. I got bell pepper, I got carrots, cut them up into small pieces or julienne them. I got leek, you can put some of this in there. I got some mushroom, so we can cut some mushroom. This is shiitake mushroom, fresh, which is give you a very nice and earthy flavor in here, okay? And you can use any other mushroom you want. Now, because we are vegetarian or vegans, we don't eat meat products. We need to find a substitute to meat products. We're going to use a lot of soy-based products. Okay, there's soy sauce of all kinds over here, and out there in the market you will find about 50 different kinds of soy out there. Okay, in order to get our flavor, of the ingredient shine through, you don't want to use regular soy sauce. You know, the one that you buy cheaply in the can, which is dark in color, very intense in flavor of soy, okay, and also sometimes salty. You want to use the thing called light soy sauce. Light. See, a lot lighter in color, one thing, not as soy-y, not as dark in color. So when you cook with it, you can still taste whatever ingredient you put in it, like ginger, like garlic, like noodles and things like that, or vegetable. But if you use regular soy, everything gonna turn brown, one thing. This sauce doesn't make the food turn brown. Okay, it's make it light, but it give you a little soy, a little flavor enhancer. It can be made from soy. It can be made from mushroom and soy. This is called mushroom soy sauce with soy. It can be made from seaweed. It can be made from starches of some kind with another ingredient, but it's all plant-based vegetable, and it's not very intense in flavor, and it's lighter. So when you cook with this, your sauce still stay natural color, not as dark. Okay, and it doesn't make everything taste like soy sauce at the same time. Okay, so we're going to use a lot of those, and you can buy them. The one that you need, it's called light soy sauce, not light like less sodium, but light in color. Okay, and it also called thin, which is thinner in color or thinner in texture than regular soy, and it's also called white soy sauce, which is whiter in color than regular soy. So three things: thin, light, or white soy sauce you can use. Yeah.
And what brand is that particular one called?
This one is Pan Thai. Well, the long name, I just go with Pan Thai. Panthai. And this one is Healthy Boy. There is Fat Boy on top. They can call them Fat Boy also. And you also, Lee Kum Kee also make some. It called light soy. This one is superior soy sauce, which is also light in color. Okay, and you also can enhance the flavor with Maggi seasoning. You can use them before. All Chinese and Asian know what Maggi seasoning is. Okay, this is the source of saltiness and flavor enhancer. It comes from Switzerland originally. In Europe, they use it for brown sauce, for gravies and things like that. It went with colonizer. It's now very popular in Asia for secret ingredients.
So is it, how do you spell that?
M-A-G-G-I.
M-A-G-G-I, yeah. It's German, it's French, it's Maggi seasoning. It made from soy with all kind of herbs and spice in it, okay? In Asia, if you have a breakfast sunny side up, you don't use salt, they put it on top instead, okay? To enhance the flavor.
It's full of the MSG.
No, you need to look for the one that have no MSG. Yeah, there is one.
I'd like that one thing, just that the rainbow has a lot of different soy sauces.
Yeah.
Non-wheat as well.
The one made from China is a lot of MSG. But some of the other places might not have or have a little. If you don't have a problem with it, you can also use it. Okay, so my noodle is nice and soft here. Okay, so let's go back to the sauce a little bit. We also have sweet soy. This is called ketchup mayonnaise, or it's called sweet soy sauce. It's very thick. It's used a lot in Chinese cooking and in Southeast Asian cooking. It's the mixture of soy and molasses. So you don't have to use your sugar in your food if you use this soy. But it's very intense in flavor and color. Some of them make with molasses, some of them mix with palm sugar, which is look like this. Okay, this is palm sugar that make from coconut. So it's sweet with coconutty flavor. If you want it's authentic, you use this sugar instead of regular sugar. I hardly use any white sugar. I use either brown sugar because it gives you flavor also, not just a sweet taste. White sugar just gives you sweet taste but no flavor of any kind. Okay, but this sugar have flavor, and they have jaggery that's made from beets. You know, the darker sugar, the brown sugar, the sugar cane sugar, it also give you unique flavor. Yeah. Yeah, you can do those if you have you want to take care of your health. But this is, you know, in Chinese restaurant they will use a lot of it for stir fry the thick noodles. So you have this dark color and then molasses at the same time. In ketchup, like ketchup, mayonnaise, like ketchup, and then mayonnaise. Mayonnaise means sweet. Okay, ketchup means sauce, so sweet soy. Okay, so this Indonesian use a lot of it, and Chinese also use a lot of this. And in most of the Asian restaurants, especially Chinese, they will select a certain type of soy to use, or they can mix them with the other type. So they have this unique and different flavor from the other restaurant. You wouldn't know it, what they're mixing, okay? So they always have different kind of soy. That's why when you do it at home, why can't I duplicate the same, dish at the restaurant? Because of all these different things that they mix, depend on the chef, okay? But anyway, the noodle is done, okay? So how do you cook next? It's a couple steps to do here. You're gonna do the noodle first, and then you're gonna cook the vegetable. Okay, the reason we don't cook the noodle with vegetable because it might make your noodle overcook at the end. So the texture is going to be kind of, falling apart. This noodle is good because it's glass noodle. It doesn't falling apart easily like wheat or rice noodle, but can be very soft also if you cook them too much. Okay, so the texture is also the key. First thing, I'm going to put the oils in here. I use mixed oil because I'm in Asian cooking, like especially Chinese and Korean, they can use a lot of sesame seed oil too. Instead of buy 2 bottles of oil, you can buy 1 mix already. This one is soybean oil with sesame seed oil. Okay, so you're gonna go in here real quick. All you have to do is put oil around it, okay, to heat the woks up. There we go. Very simple. And now let me see, I can go higher. There we go. Next thing, you're going to put some soy in here. I'm going to use mushroom soy. You're going to cook soy. You're going to cook sesame seed, some pepper if you like. And if you like them hot, you can have chilies. There. Usually dry chili were nice like that. Okay, just throw in there. If you want them, just get the flavor in it and you don't eat them, or you can go with the fresh one. How do you do with the chilies? So here you're going to get the fresh chili and smash them up, so you don't eat them directly. You just want the flavor a bit to be in there. Need to be smashed a little bit. There, break them up and it go in here. It's going to be there we go. So now the next thing I'm going to need is vegetable stock. You can make yourself, okay, by get mushroom, get leek, get everything cooked up, or we're just going to use canned one there. And by heating it up, okay, then you're going to put noodles in there. And noodle hasn't been cooked completely, okay. If it getting too long sometime, cut them up a little bit so it's easy to deal with. There. So you're going to get on this. There. By doing this, the noodle is going to be cooked, absorb all the flavor, and get the sauce in there at the same time. I need those back. Okay, the bowl. Yeah. No water. Okay. Why is it not hot? Do we need to fan this? There we go. Okay, now it's hot. Okay, so it doesn't take long. You soak the noodle first, okay, to al dente, and then you heat the sauce. It's ready to go. You want them hot, put them in there. Chilies, and the noodle gonna be absorbed. Noodle gonna absorb all the flavor. Now everything is being cut. I use carrots, I use bell pepper, I use mushroom, I use garlic, I use shallots in here. And for the vegetable, you can use something else too. It's your call, okay? You can use jicama, you can use any kind of thing to cook in here. And all you have to do is cut them up. And the best thing to do is cut them up into the same size, so it cook at the same time. Okay. The key thing when you do stir fry is that the more you spend prepping, cut them up into small pieces, the less time you're going to cook it. Because it's so small, you can cook them very fast. If you're going to cook them longer, you can cut them to the big chunk. Okay. But the problem is, you want to cut things to the same size so it cook at the same time. Okay, you know that if you cut carrot that big, right, and you're going to cook with something delicate at this, if you cook it at the same time, this thing going to be disintegrate, correct? This one not going to be cooked. So you need to make sure that you're staging it. So the thick one go in there first and cook them up, and then the next one go in, okay, and then stage them up. If you cut them big and small. For example, if you cook carrots, beans, and bean sprout, which one should go in last? That's right. So you know how to do those, okay? So, but if you cook them all to the same size, it's gonna cook at the same time. But still, bean sprout is kind of small and have to deal with last, okay? So I'm gonna cut some garlic here. So I'm gonna peel them off. You guys can see very easily done, okay? And if some of us might not like to bite into garlic, but you like the flavor of it, you can do several things, okay, to cook in the wok. So this is done. See that? They all absorb nicely and it go in there. Now the flavor is in there now, okay? Can I, for the...
dish towel?
No, yeah, the paper towel is okay. Thank you. So you just all have to wipe them off. You don't have to clean them. And then you're gonna go in there again. Now you're gonna cook the vegetable and herbs, okay? You're gonna go with the oils again, which is mixed oil, so you can have both flavor in there. Now you're gonna cook garlic, and then ginger, and onions, and things like that. Yeah. And if you don't want the flavor in there, if you don't want the chunk to bite into it, you're just gonna cook this real quick, and then take them out. So the oil gonna have the garlic, have ginger flavor. The same thing as this, you're gonna cut ginger up very small, smash them a little bit and go in there. See like that? There. And your oil gonna have flavor of ginger, garlic, and you don't need to eat them, you can take them out later, but the flavor in there, okay, you want them hot, you can put this in there too. There. And you're gonna cook with the oil. And unless you want to eat them up, then you have to cut them into small pieces, okay? So I get this oil nice, and it got garlics in there, got ginger in there, and got chilies in there. See that? 3 things. And then when it's got flavor, garlic, ginger, and everything, you can take this out. Okay? And you don't have to bite into it, but you have the flavor of it in there. But I'm going to leave everything in because I like them a lot. I'm going to put shallots in there. This will give it nice flavor of onions in there too, to cook them up. Oops. So, there. And you're going to cook them with the oil and everything in there together. Make sure that all the herbs in here develop their full potential when you do stir fry, because sometimes it cooks so fast it doesn't develop the full potential. You need to cook them until it's brown a little bit, okay? By doing this, all the flavor come out, okay? So you want to make sure that you cook them and it's light brown and flavorful here, and you're going to cook them so fast with high heat. Most of the time that when you do stir fry, the mistake is that you put too much liquid in it, okay? You want to get liquid in there and evaporate out as quick as possible, okay? So the flavor of the ingredients still attached to it, the texture, the minerals and everything, okay? So you need to control your liquid, one thing. And stir fry is not meant to have the flavor get into your food. It's meant to have the sauce reduce and coat around your ingredients. If you want the flavor into your food, you need to marinate that ingredient first, right? For example, you want the flavor to go into the tofu, you need to marinate the tofu with soy, with something first. Because when it's stir fry, it does not bring the flavor into the food, but it's going to coat around it. And when you cook, again, high heat, stir them so the moisture evaporate out, so the sauce getting thick, right? And then you don't want to undercook them in the wok. Okay, do not cook them to perfection in the wok, because by the time you move it to the plate, by the time you serve, it will be cooked to perfection. Okay, if you cook to perfection in the wok, by the time you serve, it's going to be overcooked. Correct? That's why in the Chinese restaurant, they always have sizzling pan. You know, when you order sizzling something, they cook in the wok halfway and they put in the sizzling pan and then serve sizzling in front of you. That's the best way to cook. Okay, so this is nice and flavor. Now I'm going to put vegetable in there. Okay, I'm going to put carrots. I'm going to put bell pepper. This is kind of Chinese green. You're going to cut them up and go in because I think it cooked at the same time. Okay, by looking at this. And no, it's Chinese green, which is very popular. It's like between spinach and cabbage. Yeah, and then mushroom go in there. This is very easily. So you make the noodles, you make the vegetable. Now you're going to season your vegetable right now. Okay, so how do you season them? Soy sauce, but put little pepper, little soy, little Maggi seasoning. Okay, and the one to make it taste also good is called oyster sauce or vegetarian oyster sauce. It doesn't make from oyster, but it's made from oyster mushroom. So it tastes like oyster, okay? And it's a little bit in there to bring out the flavor. Now, is it too dry? Remember, you don't want to put too much liquid in here, just a little stock. There. And you're going to cook them up together. Yeah, I was wrong. There's not going to be enough for one, so two. So you need to do two of them. So you're going to cook them up again al dente. There we go. Yeah. Now, at this point, the vegetable is going to be like al dente a little bit. It's nice and hot because I don't want to put noodle in there to cook again because it's going to be overcooked. I'd rather take vegetable out and mix with the noodle separately. Okay, so that's how we're doing it. So that means this recipe can be served hot if you cook and serve right away, can be sit around to serve at room temperature, or can be served cold in hot winter month. Okay, and if you put it in the freezer in a small bag portion, you can take them out and heat them up. You can, but you want to undercook everything, so when you heat them up, everything will come out perfectly. There we go. So now I got this. Okay, so now you got everything ready to go, right? You're gonna mix the noodle in there, and maybe some of this, if you like to put some of them in. I'm gonna have them pass the sample out. Go ahead.
Now?
Yep. We're gonna have sample you can try, and I'm gonna mix this together. And if you like fresh vegetable, okay, what you're gonna do, you're gonna cut spinach, lettuce, and things, put it on your plate first, put noodle on top of it, so you can have more, okay? And you can also put nuts in it if you like nuts, okay? We have a lot of those. You can taste maybe two of them if you want, okay? So we have, you can put nuts at the end, peanuts, cashew nuts, and anything like that, and you can go from there. There we go. And at the end, you're gonna mix them together, and look at the color there. Okay, and the one that I like also is called water chestnut. Yeah, you can put fresh water chestnuts in there. Yeah.
Is that watercress, that green?
Yes, you can use watercress on the bottom of your plate, or you can use lettuce, or you can use spinach. If you don't want to cook them, you can have them fresh. Try those. It's passing around, and we have this nice fresh one right here. Okay. There we go. Those are the easiest thing to do. Remember, you can do a lot of this, put in the freezer, and we can go from there. The tasting is coming. We have more.
Thank you. I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to coconut and palm. Is there any good substitute?
You can use any other sugar, like sugar cane. Okay? And then for the coconut milk, you can use soy milk. Yeah, for that. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is Thai hot and sour soup. Okay. This is going to be very spicy at the same time. So anyone interested in this, you look it up. There. There. Have you guys have all the taste? Did she have another one coming? Yep. We have more if you want. There.
I don't know if it's easier to make these smaller or cut them in half. I don't want to have all these ones that are cut in half, and then, but you know, maybe if there's a lot of people, we just have to cut some of these in half. make a couple of those.
We have more if you want another one. But I don't know how many going to show up, so. Okay, next one we're going to do the hot and sour soup. It's Thai. It's called galango soup or Thai ginger or Siamese ginger. It looks like this. There we go. And regular ginger is look like this. Can you tell the difference? No? One of them is kind of shiny, smooth and shiny skin. The other one is tough, and brown. You call them Siamese ginger, Thai ginger, and white ginger. Okay, so we have lemongrass, galango, what the name is. You need to look on the other side of your recipe so you know what it is. Okay. Okay. And the last one we're going to use is called kaffir lime. It's right here. Yeah. We have more. We have more. Is it good? And healthy too. Okay. We're going to make the soup next, so listen up real quick because my time is almost up. But anyway, but you can meet me over there or outside because somebody else is going to come in later, okay? And you have any question. You need 3 ingredients here, lemongrass, galango, and kaffir lime to make this soup. You can buy this at any Asian grocery store or Asian, farmers market have everything there. First thing, you're going to get the vegetable stock in there to boil, okay? And we're going to use coconut milk to make it creamy. If you can't eat coconut milk, then you have to find some other milk. We got walnut milk, almond milk, all kind of milk out there. But anyway, vegetable go in there. Now, we're going to use lemongrass, galango, and kaffir lime for this, right? So, how do you use lemongrass? You're going to take the tough outer sheet, dark brown off first, so you have nice and clean one right here. Okay? The tender section is the part that you would take the root section off, and from here up 6 to 8 inches, where you can break with your fingers, is mean tender. There. This is the tender section of lemongrass that you can eat directly. So you're going to go slice it as thin as possible. There we go. And then you can eat that in the soup or salad. Okay? But for this recipe, we do not eat it directly. We want to infuse our stock with the flavor of lemongrass. All you have to do is peel this dirty outer sheet off, break the root section off, cut them up into 2-inch long. There. And then you're going to smash it a little bit in order to break them up. There we go. By doing this, the flavor coming out sooner. You're going to cook it in the broth, or you can cut them in half too. There. Okay. And by doing that, the flavor coming out, so you're going to get those in there. There we go. Okay, this is lemongrass. Go in there. You know lemongrass? Galango, kaffir lime have medicinal property. It helps in digestion, it's antibacterial. In Thailand or in Southeast Asia, if you have indigestion, you will boil this and drink like tea. It will help you in digestion. If you go into the jungle or the wood and you don't have mosquito or insect repellents, you pound this up in a mortar and pestle and get the oil rubbed on your body. What's the name again? Lemongrass, yeah, then it will help you out. In everything that we use in this country, start from pledge. Anything that have lemon citronate flavor in it is come from lemongrass, because the flavor is stay longer than lemon itself. Okay, so that's how we use them. Okay, and you can use them as a skewer too. There, skewer mushroom, and you can barbecue them, or you can use them as a brush. Let's say you do barbecue mushroom, you want to brush your food with lemongrass, you break them up, that will be your brush. See that? And when you brush food with it, you got lemongrass flavor also. And then when you're done with it, you don't have to clean them like brush. You just have to throw them away and it's biodegradable. There. Those are about lemongrass, okay? And it's easily to grow. All you have to do, take one of this, put in the glass of water. When the root coming out, you can move it to the ground. Anyone want some more? Raise your hand. We got more right there. We make a lot, but I didn't realize it's not that many showing up. Okay, next thing we're going to do is use the galango. This is the key ingredient in this recipe. How you do it? You're going to slice it as thin as possible.
I want to smell this.
Yeah. There we go. It doesn't smell like ginger, but I'm going to pass this around. Yeah. You guys can smell. Yeah. You know what ginger smells like. It's the same family as ginger. It's called galango. There. And you're going to cut them as thin as possible. Put it in the broth to get the flavor going. Okay. It's very intense. You can't eat them. But you can use it for this. And the last thing is kaffir lime leaf. It looks like this. It's figure 8. This is considered one leaf, okay? How do we use them? The same way we use bay leaf. You put in the food to get the flavor. After you got the flavor, you take them out. Or you can slice them up as thin as possible, and you can use them in the curry, okay? There. So now we got everything in there and cook. I want to cook them until the sauce or the stock reduced in half, so I can have the intense flavor of all these ingredients in there. Correct? Next thing I'm going to need is mushroom and tofu in here. If you like mushroom, you use exotic mushroom here. And I will go with only the white one. Why? Because our soup going to be white soup. If you use the brown mushroom, everything going to turn brown. So go with the white one. This is hothouse grow. So all you have to do is cut them up. Take the root section off, and it's already cut into bite-sized pieces. See, like that? Ready to go. So you're going to go cut the root section off, and everything is ready to go. Right there. This is called bleach mushroom. And it's all Japanese. It's called Hokkyoto. Look at those back. These come in brown, come in white, come in all kind of things. And it tastes very good. The texture is more of the very good. Okay? So, what else do we need? Mushroom gonna go in there. Tofu. Any kind of tofu you want. This one is firm in water. So it's nice and soft. If you're into organic, you can have organic tofu. And you can have the firm one too. This is firm. So we're going to cut tofu up. There we go. And then go in there. This is kind of like silken but firm. Okay? There. So you're going to mushroom go in there. There we go. Tofu go in there. I'm going to use them all up. Don't do this at home.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you get the tofu to be crispy like in stir fry?
You need to buy the one that's called fried tofu.
Fried tofu?
They're deep fried for you, so it's crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. And they have pressed tofu, they have fried tofu, they have tofu that's been marinated, so you can use those, okay? So, everything go in there, tofu, mushroom. Now, we're going to put some cream in there, which is coconut cream, okay? So, you can buy them in the jar or in the can. If you're not allergic to coconut, this is the good product for you. Go in. Now you're going to have the sauce. Nice and rich and creamy. Now the flavor. You can remember, if you use dark sauce, everything going to turn brown, right? So we need to go with light soy sauce on this one. There we go. And then it's going to let it to boil. Now, for the heat, we're going to talk about Thai chilies a little bit. Okay? This is Thai chili. It comes in 3 colors: yellow, green, and red. For Thai cooking, yellow curry, green curry, and red curry. So you can buy them ready to go. Curry paste, green, red, and yellows. It comes from the color of the chilies, and then they add different spices, different herbs in there to make it different. But it always have these 3 ingredients in it: lemongrass, galangal, and kaffir limes in this curry. And then the chili that go with the color of the curry. So yellow, green, and red. For Thai people, they know which one is the hottest, which one is the mildest. Which one do you think is the hottest? Red. The green one. Okay. So the Thai green curry is the hottest one. Okay, and then the yellow one is the mildest one, but it's already hot for you guys, but for Thai people it's mild. And the red one is the ripest and the sweetest one. It's also hot, but it's the sweetest. Okay, so the green one is the fresh one, is the hottest one. So how do you use them? You're gonna take the stem out, use the whole thing, skin, meat, and seeds. You do not have to seed something this small. But when it gets bigger chili, you have to seed them, right? In the food, you're going to chop them up as fine as possible. The finer you chop, the heat going to disperse evenly in your food. Okay? So you don't want into the big chunk, which is very hot. But if you don't like them hot at all, you just have to smash them to break them up, put in your food to get the flavor and take them out. That's it, okay? Remember, cut it as fine as you can if you want to eat them directly. If not, somebody who eat the whole piece of this is gonna have something like a bomb explode in their mouth. It's very nice and hot. But anyway, here, let's mix some of this in there too. Be careful, there's chilies in there.
Now we're talking.
Okay, let's stir them together. There we go. Be careful, there's chilies in there. Okay, so this is the chili we use. For the red chili, we're going to use for red curry. Okay. Now, the chili, even though they're called Thai chili, they are not indigenous to Thailand. Where do you think it's coming from originally? Where? San Francisco. Where? India. No. 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 It's very close than you think. It comes from Central America. This is New World products. Tomato, potato, corns, what else? Chocolates, chilies, okay? They all come from this part of the world, Central America and all the way down to the south. How did it get to Asia? Explorer, you know, Columbus came by this. Well, the fact Columbus wanted to find a shortcut to India, but they got lost, so they came to the America, and they land in the Central America. Then they find this thing. This is nice and hot and spicy, and they want to take this to Europe to grow. So they take the dry seed from Central America to the Europe, but it didn't do well in Europe in terms of growing. It's not hot and humid enough. Okay, so the guy by the name of Marco Polo took it to China, took the seed, and it's do well in South China. Okay, so people migrate all the time. So people of South China migrate down further south and take this thing with it to get to the where Thailand is now, and people around there are crazy about this thing, right? Especially in Thai cooking, so we put a lot in it. So they become Thai chilies. But it comes from this part of the world and then mutate and coming back here again. Okay? In Thailand, it's very small. It's this big. And they call them bird's eye chili because it's bright like bird's eye. Or then also call them mouse drops. The size of mouse drop. Okay? For Thai chili, the hottest one, the smallest one, the hottest one. Okay? So we're going to use a lot in here. You want your soup to be nice and hot, all you have to do is put chilies in here. Now I got the flavor in there. I got everything in it. Okay? Now I'm going to taste this and see what else do we need. I need some, there. Got it. So I'm going to taste some. It needs to be sweet from the coconut milk, creamy, and salt from the soy sauce. Now we want to make it hot. We're gonna put the chilies in there. There we go. I don't know how hot you want, but we're not gonna let you taste it unless you want them. Okay? And then I need a little soy. And the last thing to make is sour.
Malt and fibers. Oh, what do you mean?
I need some, oh, I got them. Okay. To make it sour, we're gonna put some lime juice in it. So, rule of thumb, when you do lemons or lime, you're gonna massage it a little bit. Why are we doing this? Yep, so you can break down the segment inside, you get more juice, and at the same time you break up the oil, which is the flavor of your, yes please, the flavor of your lime coming out. So I'm gonna cut them in half this way, so now it's nice and soft to squeeze, see that? You're gonna get everything done cooked. I'm gonna turn it off. You don't want to cook lime, because when you cook lime it's kind of dull, not refreshing anymore. Okay, so now nice and white. I don't know if you can see it or not. There we go. Nice and white and thick. Now the lime going. There we go. Everything turn it off first. There, and depending on how sour you want, you can keep adding to it. Thank you. Yep. And then we can throw this away. And now I'm gonna try them one more time. So okay, there is another ingredient that you need to find to make your vegetarian cooking bright up. You go by the thing called bouillon, vegetarian bouillon. You know, the chicken bouillon, shrimp bouillon and things. They also do vegetarian bouillon. That you want to be the one that organic and no MSG. Okay? This will help bring up the flavor of your thing. I'm going to put a little bit of this in there. And it will help bring up the flavor. And I'm going to add a little bit more salt, because it's not enough salt in here, and more lime. There we go. And how sour, how sweet is up to you. You can add sugar, add things to it, and this is done. Now we're going to taste them one more time. And at the end, what you're going to serve it with, cilantro and green onion. Those will be your garnishes in Thai cooking. So you're going to go, there we go, go in, and green onions. There we go. And this will tie everything together. There we go. Thank you. Okay, you can return this to her because she might need it. Okay, your soup is done. So how do you serve this? You can serve with bread. You can serve with rice. Okay, so you have soup, you have noodles. You got a meal. Okay, and then for the sweet, you can get fruits. Tropical fruit. I forgot to bring some. Okay, any question? And anyone want to try this? Here we go. Feel free. There.
So you need a little
Ladle. Or you can use this. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And I will be here with the book if you want to buy them, or I can be